Hi friends, and welcome to the channel. This is TWTV and this is the Wellness Way. My name is Dr. Raymond Wodi. In our previous video, we spoke about vaginal infection and we mentioned some culprits that lead to this infection. We spoke about some bacteria that causes this infection. We spoke about certain type of viruses like the herpes simplex viruses. We spoke about certain STIs like gonorrhea, chlamydia, and trichomonas, and we spoke about yeast. Today, let's delve a little bit further or deeper into yeast infection. Now, yeast infection causes vaginal infection, otherwise known as Candidaisis, and is the most common cause of vaginitis amongst women. Over 80% of our female, or 80% of the total vaginal infection is caused by yeast infection or yeast. Now, yeast is normal. We all have yeasts in our skin, in our mouth, in our throat, in our esophagus, and in our small intestine, and they play a crucial role in the body's system. For instance, it plays a crucial role in certain types of digestion. It plays a crucial role in chemical reactions, oxidation reduction processes, and a whole lot, provided they are kept under good, optimum environment. However, if the environment is tweaked, if the environment is disrupted and altered, of course, they are going to multiply, overgrow, and cause infection. Now, these forms of disruption of the system causing the yeast to multiply would tend to produce or give us some symptoms, which include some itching, irritation, inflammation, some form of swelling, and most importantly, some form of unusual discharge. And typical yeast discharge is then as cottage cheese, and it also has some form of unpleasant smell and odor. Now, most people are prone of getting yeast infections, and so these people include most people who are pregnant, weakened immune system, people who abuse or taking antibiotics most frequently, people who have certain types of diseases like diabetes, mellitus, and also people who do engage themselves in frequent sexual activities. It doesn't mean that if you don't take part in sex activities, you are likely not to get it. No. People who are also not actively active in sex do also have this yeast infection. Now, there is this debate about eating sugars or linking sugars to yeast infection. Now, the truth is that yeast feed off sugars, and so if there's too much sugar in your system or in your body, the yeast begins to eat them and multiply, and so of course they will have their overgrowth of these fungi. Yeast infection is not an STI. What it means is that it's not gotten through sex. But once you have yeast and yeast infection, it is likely you can transmit it to your partner. Most often than not, men are asymptomatic. It means they don't normally experience symptoms of yeast infections, but a few of them, about 5% to 15% of male, do experience certain symptoms like discharge and urethritis. They do experience swelling around the penile area. The ways of preventing yeast infection is still similar as the ones we discussed in our previous video. So please, if you don't watch that previous video, please kindly go watch it, and you will know the steps that we could take in order to prevent yeast infection. Yeast infection is difficult to treat, especially those who have recurrent and chronic forms of yeast infections or chronic Candidaisis. These people will need special forms of long-term prophylaxis and treatment regimen. But those who are acute or who are active or who got it within some few months and they are able to detect it earlier on, there are certain drugs that will cure and treat yeast infection. There are so many antifungal agents. Some are topical, some are oral, and some you can just insert it and all that. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, kindly subscribe, share. Let's get interactive. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye.